Hi, YouTube people. Anyway, today is Wednesday morning. Um, I just woke up, combed my hair, put on my typical attire. I like men's shirts and sweatpants. I do have Crocs on my feet, but I do put, real tennis shoes. I can't find where I put my shoes last night. But anyway, um, I was looking at my, always look at, my email, see if anybody sent me an email, and then I look at YouTube and see if any responses, and sometimes I can see them, and other times I'm not seeing them. Not that I get a whole bunch of responses, but I have 83 subscribers. It went from 82. I have my friend the puppet here, an elephant. My sister gave me that. As I said in prior videos, I like elephants, and when you like something, the people around you that like are thoughtful will give you a, you like elephants, you get an elephant, and I have a lot of elephants because I've liked elephants since, from what I've heard, since I was like 3 years old. That's another story. But anyway, so a person responded to my cooking video. I actually got two responses, and both were very nice to have responses. So thank you for those responses on the cooking video. But I saw one this morning, and it said like to focus the camera on what I want to be seen, because I'm looking through my phone, kind of moving along as I do stuff, and I don't have really good filming skills, but that's a whole other story. I have a whole story about, I took a class in film, but I won't go into that yet. It wasn't really like it sounds. It was very difficult, and I had to have a lot of help. I was helping somebody else in the class that supposedly needed help to help. I was the helper, and I was no help in that class. So technology is something that has always been hard for me. I make fun of my mom sometimes because, like, real simple stuff. But what I realize is what I think is real simple stuff, like the microwave, when the microwaves came out and stuff, that wasn't simple for her, And so I know my daughter is like, my phone situation drove her crazy. I still have a flip phone. I still have a functional flip phone. It's behind me charging. And it wasn't until I went on a road trip with my mom, the first road trip I went on, that my husband purchased me I guess this is like a smartphone. Is that what they call them? It's an Android. And then I learned all about that. You got what? Apples and Androids, and it seems like an Apple phone. What is that, like the high status fancy phone, and Androids are the rest? I don't know. I get the impression there's a division between Apples and Androids. I don't know if that's true. I could Google it. I don't even know if I'm allowed to say all this stuff on YouTube. Can I say Android, Apple, and Google in the same sentence? But anyway, I know I had my first copyright thing come. I was in the gym. I go to Planet Fitness, and I'm talking and showing my legs that don't have a tan, my ankle. And then the video, I posted it, and then the next day I looked, it had just copyright written by it, and I thought, I couldn't find what that really means. It sounds like they can come maybe at you or whatever. I just thought, well, let me just delete it. I knew that if there's music in the background, but anyway. Laura, will you stay on track, please? So I have my elephant here to be like a second person, because my mom doesn't like it when I point the camera at her, and I try to engage her sometimes. So I've decided I want to have like a friend, or somebody that can keep me on track. Okay, Laura, what was the purpose? Oh, okay, and then we gotta point it. Laura, what was the purpose of the video? Okay, all right. So yeah, I am really learning this. I never ever thought I was going to do YouTube. I am not a person that gets in front of cameras. I'm a person you don't find a whole lot of pictures of. Like, when people are taking pictures, I like to hide behind stuff. I think it's because I've always, been overweight and hiding my self. But I mean, maybe that's it. Not that I feel like if I was like a skinny mini, I'd be flaunting myself, because I look at pictures when I'm younger. I'm not like overweight, and I'm still kind of hiding. But anyway, well, I think I know why. I can talk about it anyway. So when I started this YouTube channel, it sounds so funny, my YouTube channel. And sometimes I have to think, what did I name my YouTube channel? I got to write it down, because it was just so, I was really mad when I started my YouTube channel. Mad, like secondary to my feelings were hurt when I started this YouTube channel. You go to my earliest videos, I am pissed off, but you don't see it. I don't think you see it unless you know me and know what was going on. Then you'd be like, but no, I was very upset, and I'm going to tell you why. I'm finally going to say why I was upset. I was upset because I went on my second road trip with my mama. Now imagine this. I'm going across country to see, my adult child, going across country and to see my grandchildren. And things happened. Things happened in 2022 when I did the same thing. But yeah. Laura, you need to go to 2022. Oh, okay. 2022. In June of 2022, I retired from my first job that I ever had. I started it in high school. And as I said in a video, I was class of 82. So I started in 1981. And I worked this job all the way to 2022. 41 years. 41 years employment I had. I never was a high income earner, but in working this job, circa 1993, I became benefited. I got benefits. I started out in high school. I was like hardly any hours, no benefits. And from 1981 to 1993, during that time, things happened. I moved out from home when I graduated. I worked in other jobs, plus this like one day, it was 1 day a week, then it was 2 days a week job, doing something very easy. And I just kept it. I liked it. And during this time, I graduated from college. I got a BS degree. Every time I say BS degree and what I've done with my BS degree, I think it's something else when I think of BS. But anyway, things were different then in the early 80s, going to college and stuff. A lot different than it is now. Anyway, so I continued working. And I continued working, and I worked a lot of jobs. Maybe I'll do a video on all the jobs I worked. I worked a lot of jobs. I wrote them down one time, recently, because I wanted to look at my employment with this first employer, because things got messed up. So let me fast forward. Okay, let me point it at it. Please fast forward. After getting home from a 3-month road trip. Now, I retired. I qualified to retire. Went through the hoops to retire, grandfathered into great benefits to retire, been retired over 2 years, retired, receiving those benefits. I come home from a road trip, and on my porch is a letter saying that, oops, we made a mistake. It didn't really say oops, but it said an error was made. Our apologies. It did say apologies. That you don't qualify for any of these benefits. And I was just, from October 1st when I received that, October, November, until December when it was finally I appealed it. But it was just, it ended up being, I call it a glitch in the system. Because my sister was telling me, one of my sisters said, Laura, most people don't start a job in 1981 and it starts out this way, and then they stay at the same company and they kind of get, their job duties change and things change, and like computers were brought in, computer systems were brought into this job when I was there. And even when they did that, it was like there's a whole story behind when computer systems came in and they had to hollow out walls to put wiring in to run through the big building, and finally that building got tore down. But a lot of stories at this job. But this job is a giant HMO that I'm not going to say their name. I will not be the one to say their name, but they're a good place to work, a great place to work, one of the best places to work in the area I live. And I worked there 41 years. Good people. They're good people. When I was there, good people, good medicine. And I was just devastated to receive that letter. And then the follow-up, calling up the number on it if you want an appeal, and get the appeal coming, and writing out my appeal and waiting for a response. But I'm just a little, what is that, like a little peg in the wheel or whatever? This was important because I was being told January 1st, 2025, I was not going to have any medical benefits. And I'm not like, when you turn 65, you get whatever it is you sign up for, like that kind of thing. I'm like out of pocket paying, and I have a spouse who, being a self-employed person, it works nicely. I'm the one that, worked the, whatever you want to call it, the W-2 job. I've watched YouTube channels, the W-2 job. I have a W-2 job that I was working, and it provided the benefits, and he's got the, self-employed, is that the I-99? I don't know. I don't know the numbers, but it's different, when you're self-employed. And both of us are very hard-working people and committed to the work that we did. But I was so upset because I had been so committed to this job because of the benefits that were provided, actually, in 93. And, I also had a, family to consider and benefits. So it just was really going to be financially devastating for me because I did not retire early because I was collecting Social Security, because I'm not old enough for that yet, getting closer. And, wasn't like I was receiving a really, really large pension, though I'm grateful for what I'm receiving, but everything would have been a lot more if I would have just stayed working. I would have kept my benefits. I would have kept on getting a paycheck. I would have still been investing in a 401, whatever it is, K. Found out, I didn't know about IRAs. You have to work. You have to be employed to have your own IRA, individual retirement account. And so when I retired, I thought, well, I'll just do an IRA and I'll put part of my pension in it, and da-da-da. You can't do that. It has to be earned income. So like my husband can do it, like we can do that way because he does earn income, but pensions aren't considered earned income. So that was like, oops. Yeah. But luckily that was caught early. I went to the bank and, I told them my situation. They didn't even like, Laura, it should be earned income. I guess the advisors at the bank, when you're doing that, don't really care. I don't know if I went to the bank on that, actually. I don't think I went to the bank on that. I went to the bank once I screwed up on that. Where did it come from? I got to find that paperwork because it affects this year's the taxes for 2024 because it overlapped. But anyway, I did go to the bank for a savings account. Okay, I'm at 14 minutes, 48 seconds and haven't really said much. But anyway, so that's why I started this. And, I don't have a tripod or whatever. I don't have even lighting, really. I had lighting. You might see me sitting in this chair. It's a Lazy Boy a lot, like when I'm filming, because I can hold the phone. But I had better lighting before. But let me show you what happened. Let me show you this. Ouch, my fingers go. You know, my hands go numb holding this phone. And okay. All right, so I'm going to walk slow. Look at this. This is my mom. You know, I'm at my mom's, but this was a lamp. You know, it had a cord running through it, and it had a light bulb like this. It's old. It's probably from the 50s, 40s, 50s. Everything here is old, but I'm telling you, there's a lot of old stuff here. But I was turning it on one day, and I could feel like a jolt in my hand, and I thought, I'm not going out like that. I don't want to get electrocuted. So I told my mom her light is having issues, and I said, you know, we need to get a new cord. And so I kind of took it apart because I'm just such an electrician. I'm not. But I thought I didn't want her plugging it in. So I took the cord out of it and stuff. So it's totally unusable. And there's no light on the ceiling here. There's a light by the front door. There's a pretty light over here that is pretty but useless. It hangs in the corner. It's real pretty. Look at this. Let me show you. You know how pretty that is? You know, a lot of... But it doesn't give much light, so I have to count on lights over here. Let me flip on a light. But I'm trying to keep her electricity down because I've been putting on the heater because it's cold in here. I woke up, it was 55 degrees. She's somebody who has kept her utilities low in the past, and utilities have gone up. Has it gone up where you guys are at? You know, we have Pacific Gas and Electric here, Northern California. It was kind of interesting. I was watching the news yesterday, and somebody in Southern California has some clip where they're showing like a high wire may have caused the fires. Like, duh. That's what caused the fires here. It was funny. I'm watching that, and they're like talking to their utilities people. I'm thinking, absolutely. Then, as I'm watching TV, PG&E has an ad talking about that they're putting, you know, underground, the underground wires that they're doing now, that it's reducing fires by like 97% or something. I thought, is PG&E giving the Southern California utility company shade or what? I don't know if that was a coincidence, because I thought, duh, yeah. Those high wires cause problems when they hit trees and fall down and create, you know, problems. The high hot wires. Anyway, have a good Wednesday. So I'm learning how to use a phone. I know that when I use the phone like this, look, I shrink. And then I do the stuff where I'm doing this, and it's like, look at that. Gobble, gobble, gobble. Anyway, love you. Peace. Like, join, subscribe, or subscribe, join, like, or comment, or whatever you do. Look at my other videos if you want to see just random stuff.